Hey everybody, on today's video we're going to work on making a shelf out of the pallet that was left over from when I put the toolbox together. We'll see how this goes. Okay, so the first thing, taking a look at it, it's just a cheap piece of plywood, don't get me wrong. And it had these supports, other pieces of plywood pancaked together. And it lost one of these, so I'll probably take them all off. And then there's also, it looks like a spot here where the forklift caught it. So we'll get these off, and then I'll probably rip it about right there, because it doesn't need to be this deep anyway. But yeah, it looks like these were air nailed in, so hopefully they won't be too difficult. Yeah, like really easy. So that's kind of interesting. So they used an air nailer and it kind of hooked back around in itself. Grab the fencing plier. Ah, interesting. Yeah, so it did that. That's weird. Anyway. But it did come off pretty easy. Oh, that's why. Okay, so they obviously sandwiched these three together first and then nailed them on. Well, I hit a nail and bounced off of it. Aha. So that's what happened there. Anyway, so I'll get these two off next, and then we'll be on to the next step. All right, so got those off of here. Took all three off, and there you can get a better look at where they must have caught it with either the hand cart or the forklift. So we'll cut that off. Looks like we'll take about 4 inches. That should do it. I've got the table saw here set up, and I'm pretty sure I bought that with gift cards from our wedding. So that thing's got to be about 16 years old now. And on these less expensive table saws, they work great. They do their job. But here's a little trick to keep your fence from weaving on you. Basically, I've just got a 2x6 that I set up against the fence, and then just 2 quick grips on each end, and that holds it. And then you don't have to worry about your fence moving a little bit on you. So there's the tip for the day or whatever. So we'll cut this off, get her down to size. There we go. Did a good job. Cut it well. And now, so next thing I do, I'm going to stain it. Now, would I have to? It's going to be a shelf probably for oil filters in my shed. No, I wouldn't have to, but I'm kind of playing at this point anyway, so let's stain it. All right, so as you can guess, this is pretty fancy. You know, and there's different rags or brushes or whatever you can use to stain. My favorite thing to stain with is an old sock. So if you happen to have a rubber glove around though, you won't have to wear the stain for a week on your skin. So, well, maybe if you don't rip it out. So put that on. Boy, those are cheapies. Main thing, I'm just going to be using my fingers anyway. So I shove those in the sock. Dip it in here. And I do try and follow the green, even though this is plywood, so it's going to be a little goofy looking anyway. And like I said, I'm just kind of playing. You know, put it on however thick you want for the desired color. There we go. Got the top half done, as you can see. And I'll continue that. And then we'll let this dry. And when we come back to this project, we'll do the next step. Okay, so I finished staining it. And I threw a couple of coats of gloss on it. Not that it really matters, but since I'm playing around anyway, I decided to do that. Then I was taking a look at this, and what I'm going to use for the brackets are these closet style ones. So that way, when I put it up here, I'll have the shelf, and if I want to store something else or hang it, you know, I'll have those hooks where your rack would normally go for your hanging stuff. So for the back wall, I have some of this salvaged wood that I think will look pretty good, you know, and of course it doesn't all match, so I've kind of got a pattern going. See how it works. There we go. Yeah, so it'll go like that, and to put it up, I've got my Makita M12 fuels. There we go. Now I got that. I do that corner first, so that way I can push down here if I need to snug it at all. So as you can see, I got this one, then a narrow one, then these two red ones. Then I'll put another narrow one up there and finish it with the piece I cut off of that on the end. And that's how I'll do that. Okay, so I got the rest of the pieces for the back wall on here. And now I need to mark on my shelf I mean, I could measure it, but since I've got my shelf, it's just easier. And where I took the back blocks off of, I need to know where I can put them back on. So I'll mark that. And then I can put the blocks back on and just using a Sharpie. But yeah, it's coming together. So recycled or repurposed pallet and salvaged wood so far. So going well. Okay, we're in the home stretch here. I got the boards on that we're going to attach the hangers to. And I already put the middle one on. So that'll sit like that, and that'll almost hold like this. But so then for the next one, because we want to mark where it's gonna go, try and avoid your previous holes. Kind of like that right there. And I'm just holding it, oh yeah, mostly with my hand there. Take the Sharpie again. And I'll mark that. There we go. Got it marked. And I can see my marks. So I will do a pilot hole. And I did put some washers because I'm just using regular drywall screws on this. So that'll hold it better. And we're getting there. We're close to the end here. Okay, all the brackets are on, and now we got to attach it to the wall. So, drill a little pilot hole first. And I've got the washer on there. And that's not holding great yet, so we'll put another one in. And of course, my screws are over on the table. So I'm going to pull this one out. And go grab the box of screws. And I believe I'm going to switch to the longer ones. I used the shorter ones up on the top part just to hold it there. Now I got the 1 1/4. They'll definitely do a little better at holding. Put the washer on. I'll get 2 of them ready. Okay, take 2, we'll try it again. You know, sometimes that happens when you're doing these type of projects that don't have directions, because you're just kind of making it up as you go, and that's really no big deal. Okay. Try this again. One. And you do kind of have to angle it a little bit, otherwise you run into this. There. Okay, now she's not going to go anywhere. I'll do the same thing on the other 2 brackets, and then there's one last piece. All right, now for the final piece, I'm going to put an end cap on this, and I've got it raised up just a little bit above the flat surface, so that way stuff doesn't slide off as easy. And I could just use my finish nailer and pop this in, but 1, I don't have it hooked up right now, and 2, this isn't heated out here or cooled. So with the temperature fluctuations throughout the year, sometimes those will work loose. And I have the screws right here. So we got the middle one in there. Sure it's where I want it. Line that up. Let's go right there. And one more over here. Perfect. All right, there we go. Got the shelf completed. I got this back wall up, and yeah, I think that'll be pretty handy. So my shorter red toolbox here will go right there, and then I'll have a shelf above it. So that should work out pretty good. So as always, hey, thanks for watching, and thanks for enjoying.